Oh man, few things irk me more than the topic of this video: millennial philosophers. I hate them. I despise them. All I need is one high school dropout to tweet one introspective thing about the 2016 election. I'm fucking off this planet. Just one 19-year-old with a Gandhi cover photo pseudo-intellectually whining about the burdens of higher knowledge before I seriously consider becoming an accessory to murder from hiring a hitman. Show me a kid in community college with political hashtags in his Twitter bio, and I'll show you a kid who will make zero impact in life. Millennial philosophers come in many shapes and sizes. Some of them get tattoos of dumb quotes on their arms. Others use window markers to colorfully tell apathetic motorists who they're voting for. But the thing that unites them all under one banner is how completely, unabashedly aggravating they are. Whether they're passing out ecstasy at Bernie Sanders rallies or running off to join ISIS as white American citizens, they always find a way to get under your skin and stay there until your corpse rots. Millennial philosophers think you're a bunch of brutish sheep that are their responsibility to safely shepherd across the rolling plains of life. They take it upon themselves to type out their original observations every 6 minutes on Twitter, such intellectual gems as, "I'm pretty much convinced that pussy, money, and weed is all most dudes care about." I can only imagine the depth of insight necessary to arrive at that conclusion, and I applaud your generosity for sharing your findings with us thick-headed trolls. Other precious minerals include, "It's a blessing and a curse to see this existence for what it really is." Oh, I bet it is. I find myself conflicted as well, for it is a curse to have had the misfortune of reading your inane bullshit, but also a blessing to know that I am not your family, friend, or significant other, where I might have no choice but to indulge your deliberate nonsense. Millennial philosophers don't care what you think. But due to their higher existence and sharpened brains, they have evolved the ability to simultaneously be egregiously offended by things they don't care about. They spent so much time refining their craniums, they forgot to invest in skin thicker than their MacBook Airs. If you prick one, they don't just bleed, they cascade and cry cyberbullying in the process. When you ask a millennial philosopher if it's possible their way of thinking is just an inflated bag of garbage with a hole at the bottom, you can expect to be blocked from their entire life because they prefer not to be exposed to negative energy, or what we call legitimate criticism. It's a great reward after a sick burn. They view the exchange like picking up a spider and putting it outside, when it's more along the lines of institutionalized segregation. They want a congregation of like-minded people, and would prefer the rest of us not use their water fountains, lest we track lower plane dirt into the facilities. Millennial philosophers are insanely aware of social issues and believe wholeheartedly in unfiltered diversity. If every show on television doesn't have a cast member representative of each of the 196 countries on our Earth, you better believe angry letters will be written. Did you know there's not a single Antarctican on Saturday Night Live? Millennial philosophers certainly do, and as long as you're around one, you'll never forget it. You see, despite their best efforts to be intelligent wizards of wisdom, millennial philosophers are actually quite fucking daft. In their desperate search for higher knowledge and purpose, they have completely ignored the lower and mid-level ranges of information, rendering them woefully inept at real life. Millennial philosophers like to post the same basic ideas over and over again, with slightly different wording, and if that doesn't succeed in changing the world, they go for the big guns and post quotes from other people saying the exact same basic ideas they already say. They're like, "I find it odd that the naive teenagers I pander to haven't yet passed legislation fully legalizing marijuana, but maybe they will if they see Bernie Sanders say it, because that's who they're reaching. That's all they're reaching. Yet somehow they still think they have a direct line of communication to the Oval Office. I don't get it. I posted my thoughts online. Things should be different by now. No, you pretentious fucking idiot. You will never improve this place." When change does come, you'll be on the sidelines, pretending it's the forefront, and I'll be aggressively rolling my eyes at your obnoxious attempts to take credit. "I've been saying this for years, and it finally happened." Whatever it is, those are two events that could not be more separate. I'd rather planet Earth soak in a clogged toilet than do anything beneficial at your behest. "We did it, guys. We as a society did it." You didn't do shit. You're a faux pundit, only called on by himself to give opinions nobody cares about. If I had the means to rid the world of certain groups of people, first to go would be millennial philosophers, followed closely by serial rapists and pedophiles. I would rather a defenseless woman be violated on the worst night of her life than be subjected to one more whimsical musing from a bullshit foghorn. I would rather a small child be taken advantage of in a way that will shape his growth for years to come than participate in a garden variety political poll started on Twitter by a community college goer. I would clear Bill Cosby of all charges and have those charges transferred to a millennial philosopher if I could. I would do it in a second. Sorry, @Sam the Wise. You've now abused a ton of women, but I'd sentence you to life in prison just for that Twitter handle.